It started the morning of March 18th, 2022, when I stepped outside and saw a black iron gate stretched across my gravel driveway like a scar. The hinges were still shiny, oily, catching the pale sun. My neighbor stood there in his pressed khakis, arms crossed. He smirked and said, "Guess you'll have to use your front door like everyone else." For a second, I thought it was a joke. Then I noticed the padlock, brand new, brass, heavy, and my stomach dropped. I could smell metal dust and the faint tang of cut concrete. My truck was on the other side, trapped. I asked, "Why would you do this?" He shrugged. "Protecting my property line." That phrase stuck in my head all afternoon. By evening, I was pacing, checking old folders I kept in the hall cabinet, hands shaking every time I unfolded another yellow document. I found the easement map from 1976, the one my father had kept in a blue file marked in black Sharpie. The driveway was clearly mine, 10 feet wide, running straight along the southern boundary. The next morning, I drove to the county surveyor's office in town. The clerk, a woman with thick glasses and a red cardigan, pulled the original plat map from a long drawer. She pointed with a ruler. "Your neighbor's fence line ends here," she said, tapping 6 feet short of where the gate stood. I took photos with my phone, every angle, every note. My pulse slowed, replaced by something sharp and deliberate. Within a week, I had a copy of the deed, the survey, and a certified statement from the assessor's office. I sent my neighbor a letter, printed on plain white paper, signed in blue ink. "You have built on my property. Remove the gate within 10 days. He laughed when he read it. I heard him from my porch. "You'll never prove it," he called out. He underestimated how stubborn I could be. I contacted a local land use attorney named Gaines, who wore tweed jackets and smelled faintly of pipe tobacco. He studied my documents in silence, nodding slowly. "We can file for an injunction," he said. "You've got the paper trail." The legal process stretched for months. I barely slept, lying awake listening to the wind rattle the metal bars outside my window. Every morning I saw that gate gleaming in the sun, a reminder of his smirk. I started documenting everything, dates, photos, even video of my blocked access. I sent it all to the lawyer, who filed motions piece by piece. Then came the turning point. A local reporter from the Sentinel called after seeing the court docket. She wanted an interview. I hesitated, then agreed. We stood by the gate while the camera rolled, and I held up the maps side by side, the old county record and a fresh certified survey. "This line," I said, pointing to the faded ink, "is the truth." The story ran that Sunday. Public sentiment flipped fast. Strangers honked in support when they drove by. Someone even left a note in my mailbox saying, "Don't let him bully you." My neighbor stopped making eye contact after that. At the hearing in late August, the judge, a woman with silver hair pulled tight behind her ears, studied the diagrams for a long time. The courtroom smelled faintly of old paper and coffee. When she finally spoke, her voice was calm. "The defendant's gate encroaches 6 feet onto the plaintiff's land," she said. "It shall be removed within 14 days, costs to be borne by the defendant." I exhaled for what felt like the first time in months. 2 weeks later, a crew arrived with a flatbed truck and power tools. The sound of metal grinding against metal filled the air. Sparks flew, bright and brief. My neighbor stood a few yards away, silent now, his jaw tight. I didn't say a word. I just watched as the panels came down one by one, the hinges tossed into the back of the truck like bones. The air smelled of hot steel and dust. When the last post was pulled and the ground lay open again, I stepped forward and ran my hand over the fresh dirt where my driveway began. The gravel crunched softly under my boots. My chest felt lighter, almost hollow. Revenge wasn't loud or angry. It was quiet, exact, and perfectly measured. I realized then that justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just exhales.